Oh, you thought the Harris family drama finally went cold? Cute. Because whatever is detonating behind those mansion walls right now makes keeping up with the Kardashians look like nap time at daycare. The royal circus of T.I., Tiny, and their fiery heir King Harris just turned family dinner into a verbal war zone. Nobody's walking away clean, only with battle scars, digital receipts, and enough meme material to fuel the internet for weeks. We're talking shouting matches louder than T.I.'s thesaurus rants, emotions melting Tiny's lash glue, and King acting like the crown prince of chaos. This isn't a family dispute, it's a generational meltdown streamed for millions still arguing if it's reality or the next Zeus network experiment. The internet has already labeled it the Harris Civil War, and honestly, they're not wrong. From leaked DMs to shady livestreams, the tea spilling from this mansion could power TMZ until the next decade. So grab your popcorn, your prayer beads, and maybe an aspirin, because even T.I. himself can't expeditiously clean up this mess. But before this feud became the internet's favorite soap opera, let's rewind. The Harris clan wasn't always Atlanta's hip-hop version of Game of Thrones. Back in the T.I. and Tiny, the family hustle days, they were the blueprint. T.I., the lyrical kingpin of hustle, Tiny, the calm queen who could juggle chaos like a pro, and little King Harris, the cheeky golden boy, part comedian, part menace, and all charm. Cute, charming, mischievous, King Harris was a walking meme before memes even existed. But fast forward a decade, and that golden child has transformed into a full-blown headline machine. He didn't blow up with platinum hits or billion-dollar ventures like T.I., but with viral tantrums, unhinged live streams, and internet chaos that makes 6ix9ine look like a life coach. This kid grew up in a mansion yet talks like he was dodging bullets behind a corner store. He's the only celebrity son who'll flex in a Rolls Royce while preaching about street struggle. It's like watching the Fresh Prince in reverse, a rich kid doing Olympic-level mental gymnastics to prove his hood. And while that attitude earned him a few viral laughs, everything crashed spectacularly the moment he tried proving it in front of his own parents. The clip that detonated the internet didn't come from TMZ or a podcast. Nah, it came straight from Instagram Live, because of course it did. King Harris went live right after a family event, face tight, voice reckless, ready for drama. Tiny sat there trying to keep her cool, while T.I.'s patience was thinner than his hairline circa quarantine. You could feel the tension vibrating through the screen, that classic southern dad boy, don't test me energy that means business. But King wasn't folding. He went full supervillain mode and said, "I've been through more than you'll think. I ain't no regular kid." And that, right there, was the spark that lit up the Harris household like a 4th of July gone wrong. "I came from the trenches," King Harris declared, and boom, the internet froze harder than Elsa's palace. Within seconds, the comment section erupted faster than a Nicki Minaj fan war. One viewer typed, "Sir, your trenches had butlers," while another added, "This man said trenches, but his Wi-Fi never lagged once." It was chaos, glorious, meme-fueled chaos. But to T.I., none of it was funny. This was personal. Here's a man who built his entire legacy on hustle, survival, and street-earned credibility, and now his own son had turned that legacy into a punchline. T.I. stepped in with that signature calm but deadly dad energy, saying, "Son, you was raised with love. Don't confuse that with weakness." But King wasn't hearing any of it. He cut him off, voice raised, pride louder than sense, and for a heartbeat, it looked like he might actually square up with his own father. That's when Tiny stepped in, the world's most exhausted referee. You could tell she'd seen this episode before. All that was missing was popcorn and background music. She tried to cool things down, urging King to show respect. But he doubled down instead, "Y'all don't even know what I go through." And that's when click, T.I.'s face changed. The glare. The legendary "boy, you about to learn today" look that instantly went viral. Fans looped it in slow motion, added dramatic violins, and called it the look that ended peace in Atlanta. Others joked, T.I. looking at King like he's about to drop the most dangerous vocabulary word of 2025. But beneath all the memes and laughter, the situation was painfully real. That livestream wasn't just another family spat, it was the exact moment the Harris family's flawless image shattered like cheap glass. Years of polished reality TV wholesomeness gone in seconds. T.I. built his brand as hip-hop's father figure. Tiny was the unshakable queen who kept the chaos contained. But now, the son they'd raised under chandeliers was publicly calling them out, making it look like fame itself had poisoned their home from within. Insiders whispered that this wasn't the first explosion, just the first one the world got front-row seats to. Sources claimed tension had been simmering for months. King Harris wanted to be respected as a real artist and influencer, but T.I. wasn't impressed. He wanted his son to earn his stripes, not demand them. Meanwhile, King felt trapped in his father's shadow, every attempt at independence reduced to T.I.'s kid trying too hard. What once felt like a blessing now felt like a curse. So when those cameras went live that day, years of quiet resentment erupted, in perfect HD, with crystal clear audio. Social media became a digital battlefield. Half the internet sided with T.I., saying, "That boy needs humbling." The rest defended King, claiming he was just fighting to find himself in a family built on fame. But everyone agreed on one thing: this wasn't just drama. It was the messiest, most public family meltdown of the year. T.I. can't control his son. King Harris claims his from the streets. Twitter disagrees. Tiny fights to keep the peace as chaos explodes. Those were the headlines flooding every feed. Even celebs couldn't resist the drama. Boosie, never one to miss a messy moment, chimed in with, "Man, that lil dude willed in. His daddy need to send him to Baton Rouge boot camp." Meanwhile, Charlemagne the God called it exactly what it was, a father-son ego war, live-streamed for likes. But while the world laughed, King Harris kept posting, dropping cryptic subliminals, throwing shade at fake family vibes, and even reposting memes of himself like he was in on the joke. Except he wasn't laughing. Insiders claimed he felt cornered, like everyone was trying to humble him instead of hear him. T.I., on the other hand, went quiet, too quiet. And when T.I. goes silent, that usually means he's cooking up one of his classic educational dad moments, the kind with big words and viral quotables. Sure enough, a few days later, he went live. Calm, collected, with that familiar "I'm disappointed, not angry" look in his eyes. He said, "We love our kids unconditionally. But sometimes, love requires correction. If you mistake discipline for hate, you're not ready for the world." Fans praised him for keeping his cool, but others called out the irony. The same man who built a brand raising his kids on camera was now complaining that his son talked too much under cameras. By then, the Harris family wasn't just trending, they were owning the algorithm, the internet's favorite train wreck in real time. The algorithm was eating good. Every gossip blog, every YouTube commentator, every meme page had their claws in the Harris drama. The family had officially dethroned the Kardashians as the internet's new favorite dysfunctional dynasty. But here's the plot twist: this wasn't even the real explosion. Nope, that viral argument, just the trailer. The blockbuster sequel was still loading, and it was about to drop harder than a Zeus Network reunion. If you thought the Harris feud peaked during that live, think again. The internet had barely finished clowning King Harris' "I came from the trenches" speech when things went from bad to ballistic. Instead of cooling off, King doubled down, because when you're 19, powered by Wi-Fi, followers, and pure ego, your next move isn't reflection, it's retaliation. He jumped back on Instagram Live days later, shirtless, emotional, and ready for round 2 of his digital therapy session. At first, it was calm, but 5 minutes in, he started throwing verbal haymakers like a rapper on diss mode. He claimed the family only cared about their image, that fame had destroyed authenticity, and that he'd lived through things his parents could never understand. The comments lit up instantly. One viewer wrote, "Boy, your biggest struggle was when the chef ran out of truffle oil." Another added, "Imagine telling T.I. he don't understand struggle, this man had the feds on speed dial." But King wasn't playing, he was dead serious, and that made it all the more chaotic. He said, "Y'all don't know what it's like being born famous. Everyone expects perfection, but nobody sees you fighting your own blood." And honestly, buried under all the chaos was a twisted kind of Hollywood truth. That's when T.I. literally entered the chat. Fans spotted his verified account dropping a calm but cutting comment, "Love you, son. But you need to stop playing victim and start living in reality." Cue the collective gasp across Instagram. King Harris read it out loud, and instead of cooling off, he cranked the volume up. "See? That's exactly what I mean. They care about control, not connection." Boom. In one fiery moment, the father-son feud morphed into a full-blown public debate. Within minutes, screenshots spread like wildfire. TikTok editors went to work, slow motion, dramatic violins, fake courtroom audio, dubbing it the trial of King Harris versus Logic. And when hip-hop starts taking sides, you know it's serious. Boosie jumped back on live laughing, "That boy need a whoopin', not another podcast." Charlemagne the God cracked, "This ain't the family hustle, this the family hustlin' backward." Even 50 Cent couldn't resist. He posted a meme of T.I. with the caption, "When your son forgets who paid for them trenches." Just like that, King Harris wasn't just trending, He'd become the new poster child for celebrity rebellion, the spoiled prince turned symbol of generational ego warfare. YouTubers started dissecting every frame like it was a Netflix true crime doc. Titles popped up everywhere. Was King Harris crying out for help? Inside the Harris family implosion, fame, ego, and the fall of hip-hop royalty. Others asked, did T.I. push his son too far? It dominated the algorithm. Twitter, Facebook, Reddit. The internet turned into one giant open mic for opinions, theories, and memes. But then came the plot twist no one saw coming. Someone close to the Harris family leaked unseen footage. It showed a quiet, private moment between King Harris and a family friend. No shouting, no chaos, just raw honesty. In it, King admitted, people think because we're rich, life's easy. But you can't mess up. You can't talk back. You can't be real. It's exhausting. That one clip flipped the narrative overnight. Suddenly, the same internet that roasted him for acting tough started wondering if maybe the fame machine had broken this kid long before the livestream did. But T.I. wasn't backing down. He posted a cryptic black screen with white text. There's a fine line between discipline and disrespect. Cross it, and there's consequences. Boom, another digital mic drop. Behind the scenes, though, insiders said things had hit a breaking point. King wasn't speaking to his dad. Tiny was stuck in the middle, exhausted, playing peacemaker while the internet kept feeding on the feud. A source told one blog, Tiny just wants peace. She's begging them both to stop airing family business online, but neither's listening. One's trying to teach, the other's trying to be heard. The insider summed it up perfectly. Both of them were too stubborn for peace, one trying to teach, the other desperate to be heard. And just when things couldn't get messier, King Harris did what every Gen Z celebrity does in 2025. He turned the feud into a soundtrack. He teased new music on his Instagram story, spitting, "They say I'm spoiled but unscarred, raised with love but left with bars." Instantly, fans went feral. Some claimed it was a subtle jab at T.I., others said it was pain turned into poetry. Either way, the Harris saga had officially evolved from a family dinner argument into a full-blown mixtape war. Blogs lit up with headlines like King Harris uses studio as therapy, T.I. isn't amused. And sure enough, T.I. didn't stay quiet for long. Days later, he popped up on a podcast, cool and composed, dropping one of his signature expeditious gems, "Ain't no manual for fatherhood. Sometimes your kids grow into people you barely recognize." Translation: a lyrical uppercut straight at King. The internet ate it up. Meme pages went into overdrive, splicing T.I. interviews with King's livestream audio. One TikTok hit 5 million views with the caption, "When your dad's thesaurus runs out and he just starts spelling discipline." Even late-night hosts jumped in. One joked, "King Harris says his from the trenches. I didn't know Whole Foods had those now." But beneath all the laughs and viral edits, insiders whispered a darker truth. The feud had gone from digital drama to emotional damage, tearing the family apart in ways no livestream could ever capture. T.I. and Tiny reportedly tried to stage a family sit-down, but King Harris wasn't having it. He felt like his parents kept pushing tough love when what he needed was real understanding. Tiny, ever the emotional glue of the family, kept trying to hold things together. She even dropped a cryptic Instagram post that read, "Sometimes love looks like space, but space don't mean silence." Fans immediately flooded her comments with theories. Some thought she was hinting that King had officially moved out, others claimed it was shade at T.I. for letting pride run the show. Meanwhile, King stood his ground. He doubled down in interviews, insisting he wouldn't be silenced by fame. "I love my parents," he told one outlet, "but they gotta understand I'm not a kid anymore. I've seen things they haven't." The irony, of course, was brutal. His parents had survived real-life chaos, while his battle scars came from Instagram comment sections. Still, you couldn't deny his conviction. King was carving his identity, even if it meant burning bridges live on the timeline. Other celebrity families started ducking for cover, not wanting to be the next viral implosion. Even artists like YFN Lucci and Jocks chimed in, saying, "Fame can break a family faster than the streets." But the real explosion came next. An anonymous family friend leaked audio of King Harris allegedly saying, "If I didn't have their last name, people would respect me more." That one line hit the internet like a thunderclap, because for the first time, it didn't sound like rebellion. It sounded like heartbreak. He wasn't just fighting against his family, King Harris was fighting to exist beyond them. People began drawing comparisons to Jaden Smith, Willow, even Quan, other celebrity kids who rebelled to escape their parents' shadows. But this rebellion, It came with Southern swagger, hip-hop legacy, and a heavy dose of T.I. pride, a recipe made to detonate online. And detonate it did. By now, this was no longer a family feud, it had evolved into a full-blown cultural debate. Black Twitter called it generational ego syndrome. TikTok dubbed it rich kid rebellion. And YouTube, they branded it the Harris family implosion, part 1. But while the memes and think pieces flooded timelines, something darker was unfolding behind those mansion doors. Because if you thought the online chaos was wild, the real storm began once the cameras stopped rolling. The Harris mansion went quiet, eerily quiet. The same home that echoed with laughter and shouting was now heavy with silence. Reality hit harder than any viral headline. The feud that entertained millions had frozen the house in emotional cold. The laughter vanished, the memes faded, and the silence between father and son said more than any interview ever could. 4 days, King Harris disappeared from social media. No live streams, no rants, no cryptic captions. The kid who once treated the internet like a confessional suddenly vanished, and fans, hungry for drama, started spinning theories like detectives chasing ghosts. Some said T.I. finally laid down the law. Others swore Tiny had sent King Harris away to find himself. But the truth was way simpler, and much sadder. The house that once buzzed with cameras, confidence, and family pride now felt like a graveyard of ego. One day, King quietly packed his things and walked out. No dramatic speech, no slammed glass, no goodbye, just the echo of a closing door. T.I. didn't chase him. To friends, he said, "He's grown. Let him see the world." But beneath that calm, macho front was a father watching the kingdom he built slip through his hands. Tiny, the woman who'd held that family together through every storm, suddenly couldn't hold her own heart together. Fans, meanwhile, were playing detective, refreshing every profile like it was a case file. Every post, no matter how small, flooded with comments, "Bring King home. Fix it before it's too late. Family over fame." But King didn't want to come home. He wanted to become his own man. His Twitter turned poetic, cryptic posts about loyalty, peace, and betrayal. One tweet read, "Blood don't always mean love. Sometimes it means lessons." The internet lost its mind. Half the crowd called it deep, the other half joked he'd just discovered the therapy section on Pinterest. Meanwhile, T.I., cool as ever, popped up on another podcast dropping a line that hit like a lyrical uppercut: "You can give your kids everything, and they'll still think you owe them something. Everything, and they'll still think you owe them something." That one line from T.I. went viral in seconds. Some fans called it wisdom, others heard heartbreak. For the first time, people saw past the bravado and big words. They saw a father, not furious, but disappointed. Then King Harris clapped back, not with a rant, but with rhythm. Out of nowhere, he dropped a new track titled Royal Blood. No promo, no warning, just pain on a beat. The lyrics hit deep, they love the name, not the soul. "I bleed for the brand that stole my role." It wasn't a diss, it was a confession. The same kid the world mocked for chaos had just poured 3 minutes of raw truth into a MIC. The beat slapped, but the message left bruises. Critics called it his breakout moment. T.I. stayed silent, but everyone knew he'd heard it. Tiny, caught between pride and heartbreak, posted a throwback photo of baby King on her lap beside T.I., smiling like the world hadn't yet complicated their love. No caption, just heart emojis. The internet erupted all over again. Even King quietly liked the post, a small digital olive branch that said more than any apology ever could. A few days later, T.I. finally broke his silence. His voice was calm, no anger, no ego, just truth. "Ain't no handbook for this father thing," he said. "I love that boy, and I always will. Sometimes love means letting people learn the hard way." Fans praised him for the humility, while King Harris answered back in his own subtle way, not through anger, but with understanding. He posted a simple message, "No hate, just distance." And just like that, the noise stopped. No more lives, no more subs, no more shade, just silence and a quiet truth between a father trying to protect his legacy and a son trying to build his own. The public started to shift, too. The jokes faded, replaced by reflection. Maybe King Harris wasn't a spoiled kid. Maybe he was just another product of fame's pressure cooker, a boy raised under lights so bright they burned through his childhood. Soon after, T.I. and Tiny appeared together again, united, but softer this time. Their smiles looked real, not rehearsed. They had finally learned the price of raising a family in the spotlight, where every mistake becomes a headline and every argument a meme. Then, out of nowhere, whispers began to spread, rumors that the Harris family might be returning to reality TV. But this time, not for fame. This time, it was said to be about rebuilding, about forgiveness, about showing the truth behind the chaos. The internet went wild at the thought, because if there's any family that can turn pain into prime time, it's this one. The Harris saga didn't end with a bang, but with a heartbeat. Because beneath the fame, the music, and the madness, there's still a family, loud, proud, flawed, and learning in public. The war ended, yes, but the story? Oh, that's far from over. Fame might fade, but the name Harris? That legacy doesn't die. It just reloads. It doesn't die, it just reloads. So after all that chaos, the moral's pretty clear. No matter how rich, famous, or lyrical you are, family will humble you faster than the IRS. King Harris learned the hard way that growing up in the spotlight doesn't just bring attention, it brings judgment, screenshots, and a lifetime subscription to everyone's opinion. And T.I. He learned that even a king can't control his heir once ego and emotion go to war. But let's be honest, that's exactly why you're here. You didn't come for peace. You came for the chaos, the leaks, the jaw-dropping moments that make your timeline feel like a live soap opera. Because when the Harris family fights, the whole culture pulls up a seat. Now, before you dive into the comments to drop your hot takes, do what every real BuzzCrush insider does. Smash that like button like it owes you money, spill your wildest theory below, and hit subscribe so hard it starts trending. Because if you think this was explosive, just wait. We've got scandals that make this look like Sunday school, secrets that could melt Twitter, and receipts so wild even TMZ might blink twice. This is BuzzCrush, where the truth stays twisted, the tea stays toxic, and the drama never sleeps. Stay tuned, stay messy, and remember, in the world of celebrity chaos, peace is just the trailer before the next storm.